It's about to start. We'll talk about code or whatever we'll talk about today. It's about to start, so please hang tight while I check that everything is okay. Sound check, camera check, lights check. How's my hair? Oh, wait, I don't have any hair. Maybe put some pants on and I am good to go. So get ready wherever you are, 'cause this stream is about to start. Get ready wherever you are, 'cause this stream is about to start. Hello everyone and welcome to day 7 of Advent of Code. I heard that this is a relatively straightforward one. No spoilers, but I was, I guess, talking to Yappy maybe, or I was on the Slack channel. Anyway, people said that this was not terribly complicated. So we may manage to do this in reasonable time, David. By the way, hello, David.
Hello. Yeah, I also peeked on the subreddit of Advent of Code. They do have a spoilers tag, so I make sure not to read any of those.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah, so, disclaimer. I don't know what the problem is. Although, like, I saw some graphics of cards. I'll admit, I saw a visualization of some cards, but that's all I know. I don't know anything about the problem.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Let's get started. Here is the screen. I guess I am driving, and my phone had an alarm to start the stream, and I thought I had removed the alarm, but apparently I just put it on snooze. All right, problem number 7, camel cards. Your all expenses paid trip turns out to be a one-way 5-minute ride in an airship. I find it very amusing that they had a Wikipedia link to this, but anyway. At least it's a cool airship. It drops you off at the edge of the vast desert and descends back to Island. I'm starting to lose track of the story here.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've lost track of the story a long time ago.
Did you bring the parts? You turn around and see an elf completely covered in white clothing, wearing goggles and riding a large camel. By the way, this is not a camel. This is a dromedary. There is a difference.
Oh, is there?
Oh, you didn't know this? Yes, a camel has 2 humps on the back, and a dromedary has 1.
Oh, yeah.
Did you bring the parts? She asks again, louder this time. You aren't sure what parts she's looking for. You are here to figure out why the sand stopped. The parts for the sand, yes. Come with me, I'll show you. She beckons you onto the camel. After riding a bit across the sands of Desert Island, you can see what look like very large rocks covering half of the horizon. The elf explains that the rocks are all along the part of Desert Island that is directly above Island, making it hard to even get there. Normally, they use big machines to move the rocks and filter the sand, but the machines have broken down because Desert Island recently stopped receiving the parts they need to fix the machines. You already assumed it will be your job to figure out why the parts stopped when she asks if you can help. You agree automatically. Because the journey will take a few days, she offers to teach you the game of camel cards. Camel cards, oh, there you go, cards. Camel cards is sort of similar to poker. Do you play poker? Do you know how to?
No.
Me neither. I have never played poker. I don't know the rules.
I probably played it, but I always sort of resisted really understanding it.
By the way, hello, Nick and Nod was one. It's great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. All right. It's sort of similar to poker, except it's designed to be easier to play while riding a camel. Well, thankfully. In camel cards, you get a list of hands, and your goal is to cover them based on the strength of each hand. A hand consists of 5 cards labeled one of AKQJT line 8765432. The relative strength of each card follows this order, where A is the highest and 2 is the lowest. Every hand is exactly one type, from strongest to weakest they are. 5 of a kind, where all 5 cards have the same label. 4 of a kind, where 4 cards have the same label and 1 card a different label. Full house, where 3 cards have the same label and the remaining 2 cards share a different label. 3 of a kind, where 3 cards have the same label and the remaining cards are each different from the other card in the hand. 2 pair, where 2 cards share one label, 2 other cards share a second label and the remaining card has a third label. 1 pair, where 2 cards share one label and the other 3 cards have a different label from the pair and each other. Okay. High card, where all cards labels are distinct. Okay. Hands are primarily ordered based on type. For example, every full house is stronger than any 3 of a kind. If 2 hands have the same type, a second ordering rule takes effect. Start by comparing the first card in each hand. If these cards are different, the card with the stronger first card is considered stronger. If the first card in each hand have the same label, however, then move on to consider the second card in each hand. If they differ, the hand with the higher second card wins. Otherwise, continue with the third card in each hand, then the fourth, and then the fifth. So 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, and 2 AA are both 4 of a kind hands, but 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2 is stronger because its first card is stronger. So what matters is not the kind of card that formed the 4 of a kind. It is just ordered from first. So the order of the cards in the hand matters. Okay.
Yeah. So you could have, yeah, sure. That makes sense.
Similarly, 77888 and 77788 are both a full house, but 7 is stronger because its third card is stronger, and both hands have the same first and second card. To play camel cards, you are given a list of hands and their corresponding bid, your puzzle input. For example, this example shows 5 hands. Each hand is followed by its bid amount. Each hand wins an amount equal to its bid multiplied by its rank, where the weakest hand gets rank 1, the second weakest gets rank 2, and so on, up to the strongest hand. Because there are 5 hands in this example, the strongest hand will have a rank 5, and its bid will be multiplied by 5. So the first step is to put the hands in order of strength. This hand is the only one pair, and the other hands are all stronger types, so it gets rank 1. KK677 and this other one are both 2 pairs. Their first cards both have the same label, but the second card of KK677 is stronger, K versus T. So KTJJT gets rank 2, blah, blah, blah.
Sorry, can we pause? I'm not really following this format. So what's the first column and what's the second column?
This is a hand. This is a bid. So I suppose it's like how much you are betting or something like that. So we will rank this, we will sort these hands by their strength. Strongest
against
at the bottom, let's say, and then weakest at the top. It so happens that this one actually is the weakest, so it stays here. And then we count like 1 times 765 plus 2 times 684 plus 3 times 28 and so on.
Okay.
And I guess this is the part that is going to spell out this. Now you can determine the total winnings of this set of hands by adding up the result of multiplying each hand's bid by its rank. So the total winnings in this example are blank. Find the rank of every card in your set. What are the total winnings? And let's take a peek at the puzzle input. Yeah, it's long, but manageable. All right, let's get to it. And I suppose I'm driving today, so
yeah,
there we go, 7.mjs. And I will get my input. And I'm thinking of doing the thing we did yesterday and just formatting in the text editor, but no, I'm gonna be a good person here.
Tempting.
It is, right? But it's so easy to do the right thing, that I'll just do it. So we have the hands and the bids. So this is gonna be hands and bids, which is going to be my input, split at new lines, and filter by line such that the line is not empty. I wrote down empty. Then for each of the lines, I'm going to map them to an object that will contain a hand, and it will contain bid. And this is totally overkill. Hand and bid. I will just split the line on the space and map the string to a number.
They're not always strings, though.
Oh yeah, right. I shouldn't do that. I will just split, and I'll call this the bid string.
I guess you want to probably split by character as well on the hand. Maybe not. I guess you don't need
to. It's funny because if we did that, it doesn't make any difference at all, because indexing on the hand string and indexing on the hand array would look exactly the same, right?
Yep.
I mean, there are some things that if we wish to do later, like reversing, it would make more sense to do with an array because string reverse is not a thing, but we can cross that bridge when we get there.
If it's maybe super slow, I suppose.
Or no, maybe there is a reason for us to turn this into an array, because one way that we could detect 2 of a kinds and 3 of a kinds and that kind of thing is to sort the array of strings. If we split this into an array of strings or array of characters, you could argue, and then we sort that, then the things that are the same are going to pop up to the top or the bottom or the middle, but they are going to be grouped together, which will make the detection of the hands a bit easier to work with.
Yeah. I guess we could. My intuition is to create a class and then have getters on the class for those whatever things, but that's maybe overkill.
Well, I don't need a class for that. If you wish to have that, I can give you that. Like, how do you want to call it? Do you want to call it like a get hand array?
Oh, no, I mean, like, so you have a hand, right? And the hand object, and you can say, like, is full house, is whatever. You see what I mean?
I see.
Like, you have get on the object, which would give you those things.
Yeah, in fact, like when we are here and we are doing this, we could already determine the No, it's complicated. Yeah, no, let's not do this here. I was gonna say we could already compute the type of hand that we have, but this rule is kind of complicated. But this is as good place as any to compute what is the type of hand, right? There are exactly one type, so we could detect these types and do it right here when we are parsing. Because who cares about separation of concerns? Am I right?
Yes.
I guess I will zoom out a bit. And this may perhaps be a bit too small to read, but at least the whole lines fit. So I will have my hand array, which is my hand split at this. And I'm feeling a bit nervous about this, so I'm gonna run just to see if there isn't any obvious mistakes from out at the gate. But no, we can still do some parsing in one shot without mistakes.
Nice.
Today we are awake. Wow.
Yeah, I feel awake today.
Nick says it's fine. Text is still bigger than the code text. Okay, so I will sort this array, and then I will first detect the type. So what is 5 of a kind? Well, 5 of a kind is if hand array 0 is equal to 1 and 1 is equal to 2, 2 is equal to 3, and 3 is equal to 4. I wanna do this, right? No, the other way around. 1 is equal to 2, 0 is equal to 1, there. And if all of that is true, then I have a 5 of a kind. Otherwise, 4 of a kind is, 4 of a kind is gonna review a problem in my method, because it could be 4 of a kind of 0 up to 3 or 2 or 1 up to 4. I don't love this.
Do we want to just get the counts of each character in a dictionary?
You are right that all the types are determined by how many cards we have of the same type. Yes, so let's backtrack a bit. And we call this the label counts, which is going to be an empty object to begin with. And for const label of hand array, I will label counts of label is 0 and label counts of label plus plus. No. Yes. That. And I see you are hard at work here with what is the 1000? I don't know.
Doesn't have to. Well, I'm just thinking we might need to convert these into like a sortable thing, right? I would probably do it like this. This was just Copilot in terms of the score.
I see. And
let's leave that here. You don't have to use it.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think I just made it a lot better.
But now you can't. Now you have to interpolate with a string. But anyway, okay.
Bike sharing. Okay. So now we have the counts, and then the counts are gonna look like. And that, exactly. Then I will check. No, I actually want to transform this further. Now that I have this, I kind of want to invert these maps so that the labels become keys and the keys become labels, if you know what I mean. Or values and keys are
Say
swapped.
that again.
I want to invert. This data structure is nice for accumulating because we can simply do this, which is ergonomic. But for determining the type, I'm not really interested in the labels. I'm interested in the counts. So what I'm planning on doing is just I was saying like inverting the maps so the values become keys and keys become values. But another way of saying this is just that this is actually the label groups, or maybe just label counts, whatever. But then we just get a counts, and then it starts empty and for const, or maybe even just object values of the label counts. And I will turn this into an array because I don't want any iterable here. And then I will sort.
Doesn't object.values return an array?
No, it returns an iterator, I'm fairly sure.
I think values is on a map returns an iterator. But object.values returns an array.
Well, I am wrong and you were right. But keys will return an iterator, right?
No. It's just if you have a map. So like, you know, the like ES5 map.
Wow. Okay. So in that case, you are right. I can do this. And I can sort, but this is going to give me the numbers from down to up, and I want to do them the other way around. So thank you. That's what I had in mind. So now I can determine my type. I have accumulated enough information. So if the counts is equal to 5 of a kind, then 5 of a kind. Otherwise, if counts at 0 is equal to 4, then 4 of a kind. Why am I doing it this way? Your way is so much smarter. If counts, a full house is 3 and 2, so 3 and 2.
So my plan was that you could still label them, so you can still go scores and then index it so that it's clear what you're scoring, but this works too.
Yeah, I mean, this is equivalent, I would say.
This works too.
So we will not need this.
Okay.
After all,
that's fine.
Then we are in 3 of a kind, so we will have 3 and counts 1 equals to 1, and this is obviously going to be true if the other 2 are true, but I'm going to spell it out. And then 2 pair, it's going to be like that. Well, this one I'm not going to spell it out. I'm not going to say that the other one is unique. So it's going to be my 2. And then 1 pair And really, by elimination at this point, it's gonna be the case, so I can skip the rest. And then this is gonna be my 0. And oh, I got the syntax wrong. Okay, let's review this. I got it wrong there. Excellent. Now,
I just had a wild idea, by the way.
Oh, I wanna hear it.
So it's inspired from the Vim idea. So you know how they converted the certain letters into uppercase so they could eliminate things. I'm thinking we could do a lexicographical sorting to check whether one thing is better than another, one hand is better than another, if we transform the numbers into letters. If you see what I mean, so that we shift them. And yeah, so that they will just lexicographically be sortable, if you see what I mean.
You mean for the disambiguation that happens after the type is the same, or do you mean for detecting the type?
I mean for the disambiguation afterwards.
I agree.
In fact,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because yes, the disambiguation is a lexicographical sorting based on this. So, yeah, based on this order.
Actually, it will just work, won't it? We don't need to do anything because numbers do come after. Is it? No, it's not, because A, K, Q. Q should go at the end, so we'll need to shift a few things around.
Yeah, this unfortunately is not in order for free for us.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah.
Right. So if I got my types right here, we will see. We will see two number 0. We will see one number 0. We will see two. No, we will see. Jeez Louise. We will see one number 1. We will see two number 2s, and we will see 2 3 of a kinds. So 2 3 of a kind. So 2 1 2 3. We will see 2 number 3s, and what is the last one? Oh no, there are only 5. So yeah, that makes 5. So yeah, that's my prediction.
Yeah.
So we see
sure
one number 1, check. We should see 2 number 2s and 2 number 3s. 2 2 and 3 3. Looks good to me. We can move on.
Very nice.
And since I computed it, I will also have my hand. No, I will not, because the hand array has been sorted, it has mutated. I will not pass it along. So first we have to do one pass to just compute the types, because
did we need to sort it?
We will need to sort, but in order to be able to sort, we need to determine all the types first, because the type of the...
I meant on this line, did we need to sort?
No. We have just done a count. Like so. And yeah, I can pass this along. Hand array, why not? And then, so it's going to be the hand, the bid, the hand array, the type. Doesn't really matter in much order. I am thinking that for part 2, there is a chance that they will want us to not only to not do the lexicographical sort, but to actually take in account the labels of the cards that made the, for instance, 3 of a kind. So I'm thinking that maybe having the counts simply isn't ideal. We could have, like I was saying, map in which the values becomes keys and keys becomes values. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, right? We have been wrong every time when we start predicting stuff.
That's true.
So now we have our hands and bits, which is no longer just hands and bits. It's like a lot of more stuff. So I will rename this one to be like the juicy hands data. That sounds pornographic to me. But we have done some work to get there, so it is juicy now. Oh, hello, Bo.
Yeah.
All right, so now you're gonna sort that juicy hands data, and oh, would you look at that? I don't need to do that in a line. I can do it here. So I will have two hands. So this is gonna be my hand A, and this is gonna be my hand B, and I'm gonna sort them. So first, I will do hand A dot type minus hand B dot type, and then how do I take in account the ties in an elegant way?
I think do the diff. I think it might be easier if this is like a proper function with curly braces, so there's a bit more space. But I guess if the diff is equal, then you have to do something else. Otherwise, you can just return the diff.
I have one idea, and it's hacky, and I think it's perfect for Advent of Code, and it may not even be right. But the idea is, we already have an integer here, right? How about we add 0.1 times, you see where this is going? 0.1 times a number that we associate with the value of this this label. So this would be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, we ran out of numbers. That would have been a cute idea. Well, we can still do it. It's just more annoying.
Can't you do it with 0.01?
Yeah, it's just more annoying. But yeah, that works. So now I will have a mapping of label to strength. No, this is not the strength. The strength is of the hand. A label consists of the relative strength. Oh, okay. So relative label to relative strengths, which I will take it from here. And I want my highest strength to be A. So let me see if I agree with myself on this one. I think I do. So I want my highest strength to be A. So I'm just going to reverse these lines real quick. And this way.
Hey.
And this way, the key in which, so we can use index of in this array, and the index of will be the relative strengths. Can I make this into one line? No, I have some problem in my code.
You need to put quotes around the letters, that's all.
Ah, true. Well, but that's not even the problem that I was running into. And I need to put quotes around everything for a matter for this as a matter of fact.
Yeah, maybe.
So that it's easier, everything is one type. And check out this vertical selection that I did. It was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now if I come back here, I will subtract the hand I want to say hand at 0, but all of that is just an index into the label to relative strengths, and not even that. We are not getting that index. We are doing index of. And now I will rinse and repeat for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is this how it works? Trying to remember the actual problem. How do we do the tie breaking again? Isn't it order dependent? Okay, fine.
No, I'm letting you think while I'm doing the mechanical work, because I may be wrong on this.
No, this seems, now that you're adding this part, then it makes sense. Like I agree it should work. Yes.
So let's see.
Are there any operator precedence issues?
I'm gonna claim no, and I'm gonna let Prettier prove that for me. So every time I use Prettier, it gets rid of the extra parentheses. And yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But thanks for asking, because operator precedence, yikes. So this is the weakest. Then these two. KTJJT is rank 2, that's right. KK677 gets rank 3. This gets rank 4, and this gets rank 5. Looking great.
Nice. Wait, hold on. Which type was first? So you're doing hand 8, so you're doing it in ascending order.
Yeah, so this is going to become rank 1, and this is going to become rank 5. As we are about to see, because then I'm going to, since we are doing all of this in one line, I'm going to go with a reduce here. Usually I avoid reduce because it's kind of confusing, but this time I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah.
So I will have my previous value and current value. Okay. So I guess I need to initialize this with a 0, or yeah, with a 0, and then reduce is going to receive a hand and an index, I want to say. Yes. So this is my hand, and this is my hand, or my almost rank. And then it is my hand dot bid times my almost rank plus 1, and all of that. And I also need the other hand because I want to add.
So I think you got the arguments a little bit wrong.
I did. So I most definitely did. It's previous value, current value, and current index. So it is.
The first argument should be like the accumulator.
Yeah. So this is my sum, or my total winnings, which I will add to this like so. So let's see. Reduce, start with a 0, total winnings, which is my, wait a second. Yeah, my previous value. Then my current value, which is my hand, and my index, which is my almost rank, because I need to add 1 to it for it to become a real rank.
I guess you do have a precedent, operator precedence issue this time. with the almost strength.
Yep.
But nice of you to spot the +1, because I probably would have missed that.
All right. So after all is said and done, we of course need to console log this and do this in one expression.
Okay, lovely.
And
it's not as bad as I...
Would you look at that? It's 6440, which you may not be able to see on the stream, but I will show you.
Beautiful.
Is the correct value.
Wow.
Now,
I guess we're just missing a bit of currying, and then we're Haskell developers.
well, let me talk to you about monads. Have you heard the word of our monads?
I have.
Oh no. I want to turn this into a single line. No, it won't let me. Okay, I'll let it be pretty. All right, and let's get the real input and get our star. Stars. Do you like Resident Evil?
Do I like what, sorry?
Do you like Resident Evil?
Is that a band? I guess not.
Resident Evil. You have never heard of Resident Evil? Wow, it's a video game / a movie series, and there are zombies and a nemesis, which is like the big ass zombie, always like stars, because stars is the name of the team of cops. All right. Nick says good job on the chat. Thank you. And yeah, woohoo! Part 1, we did it in one expression.
I guess my most unpopular opinion that I hold is that I don't really like movies. It's not to say I don't watch TV, but I find movies a bit boring. Generally.
Well, I will let you know that I empathize, because I think that a movie is just the right amount of time that it is often a bit too long to be sitting down in one go.
Yeah.
But it's also not enough time for you to really dive deep into character development. And I'm not here to say that I like the director's cut of movies that go for 3.5 hours. But I'm just saying, like, I sometimes prefer TV shows. In fact, I'm very happy that Scott Pilgrim, which is an amazing movie, is now turned into a TV show, an animation nonetheless. And it's super fun. I'm loving it. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is the name. All right. Let's go for part 2.
Let's do it.
To make things a little more interesting, the elf introduces one additional rule. Now, J cards are jokers. I have heard of that.
We should have seen that coming. Come on. I'm disappointed.
Wild cards can act like whatever card would make the hand the strongest type possible. To balance this, J cards are now the weakest individual cards, weaker even than 2. Excuse me.
You already know you're going to discard the code, is that why?
No, I'm not going to discard the code, but I do want to keep the code as it is because I'm about to do a destructive change.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Weaker even than 2, the other cards stay in the same order. J cards can pretend to be whatever card is best for the purpose of determining hand type. For example, is now considered 4 of a kind because the two J's can act as Qs or queens. However, for the purpose of breaking ties between 2 hands of the same type, J is always treated as J, not the card it's pretending to be. And that's alright because we are only using the label to relative strengths while doing disambiguation. Not the card it's pretending to be. So JKKK, oh, that's no joke, man. Is weaker than QQQQ because J is weaker than Q. Now, the above example goes very differently. Okay. Oh. No, stop that live share. I feel silly.
Okay, so it can be used to improve the type, but not the disambiguation. Is that right?
Yeah. So 3 to T3Q is still only one pair, doesn't contain any jokers. And this one does contain a joker, which can act as a 5, so it goes from 3 of a kind to 4 of a kind. Yep. With the new joker rule, the total winnings are so now we only need to change this tidbit to take in account the jokers. And Nick is recommending some pretty great movies like Green Mile, Castaway, which have plenty of character development. True, Castaway is a great movie. I love Tom Hanks. Isn't he in Green Mile as well? I think he's the guard in Green Mile. So you seem to like Tom Hanks. I like him as well. But I assume you're talking more about Michael Bay movie nowadays. No, it's just movies like as a medium, I think yes, there are great movies. Of course, there are always great anythings. But as a medium, it's not my favorite, I don't think. It's okay. It's also lower commitment. You're not you're not gonna get stuck with season 17 of a TV show and having to recap and stuff. Right. So, when we do our counts, what are we gonna do now?
So, I guess we should leave out the jokers and count them separately, and then just add it to whatever the highest count is.
You're telling me that if I just increase the number of the highest count, that's always advantageous. Let me take a sec to convince myself that you are right about this.
Oh yeah, I could be wrong, because it could be like with the 3-2 example, that's
a full house.
Maybe not.
No, I think it's always better, because even if you had like a 2 pair, it is better to turn this into a 4 of a kind. I'm thinking of the case, 2 pairs and you have 2 jokers. It's better to turn that into a 4 of a kind than to try and turn it into like 3 and 2, which is a full house. Which is something you could do, right? With the 2 jokers, you could turn it into a full house or a 4 of a kind. So I think I agree with you. So yeah, let's just do that. So if my label is equal to a joker, then I will add this to the joker counts.
You have to let.
Thank you. I always do this mistake. And then we can just take our counts 0 and add the joker counts.
Oh, nicely done. What if it goes over? No, it couldn't go over 5. That doesn't make sense. Okay.
Module not found.
What?
What?
Are you in the right directory?
With the new rule, the total winnings are... Oh, geez, I think we got it. Good job, David. You're a monster.
And you. I mean, definitely team effort.
Wow, get out of here.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
That's not the right answer. Your answer is too low.
Oh no.
Well, Nick told us one edge case, but you'll see quick enough. Well, we saw. Not the right answer. Your answer is too low. If you're stuck, make sure you're using the full input data. There are also some general tips on the About page, or you can ask for hints on the subreddit. Ask for hints. Who do you think you're talking to? Please wait a minute before trying again. I guess I'll wait more than a minute, but okay. So what could be going wrong? What in terms of edge cases would happen? in the real input, but not there. Let's look at the real input and see if something stands out.
I mean, we could inspect further the assumption that you questioned.
That is the only thing that comes to my head right now. Okay, so let's inspect that. So I have one high card and I have one joker. I will use my joker to get any of the other cards and promote that into a pair. I have one high card and I have two jokers. Is it always beneficial to turn it into a 3 of a kind, or would it be better to turn that into a 2 pair? It's always beneficial to turn that into a 3 of a kind. Yeah, I agree with what I just said. I have one high card and 3 jokers. I could turn that into 2 pairs and leave a joker behind unused, or I can take my 3 jokers and turn one of the cards into a 4 of a kind, which is advantageous. So I will do that. And if I have a high card and 4 jokers, it's better to turn that into a 5 of a kind than, of course, anything else. So, okay, 1 pair. If I have 1 pair and a joker, then I'm doing the hand diagrams again. Lovely. So if I have 1 pair and a joker, it is always advantageous to turn that into a 3 of a kind, instead of using it with one of the other cards to turn into a 2 pair. So I will do that. Then I have 2 pairs and a joker. It is always advantageous for me to make a full house, because what else could I do? And with a 2 pair, I can only have a maximum of 1 joker, unless one of the pairs in and of itself is a pair of jokers. But then in that case, I would just have like a pair and a random card. And in that case, I would want to use my 2 jokers to make a 4 of a kind. Yeah, okay. So 3 of a kind. I have 3 cards here. Then I have 1 joker. I better turn that into a 4 of a kind instead of a full house. And if I have 2 jokers, then I would just turn that into a 5 of a kind. If I have a full house, all the cards are already compromised in a full house. In a 4 of a kind, I'll just use the joker to turn that into a 5 of a kind, and a 5 of a kind, there is no point. Okay, what if I have 5 jokers? Son of a gun. Sneaky. Sneaky.
Wouldn't that still work?
No, because we would be... Wait a second. What would this value be? This value wouldn't even exist. It would be probably undefined, and JavaScript is going to do something.
Nan. Yeah. So if you just change that to count 0 equals, like default it to 0, if when you plus equals it, it might work. Yeah, I do have one. The only query I have, or the only one which sticks out to me.
Wait a second. My camera died. I'm gonna try to bring it back to life. Come on, camera. you can do this. I updated macOS and now my camera is lazy. I don't love it. I'll try again in a sec. For the time being, I will be a black square. Sorry, David, you were saying?
I'm just wondering if there's ever a scenario. The only one which stands out to me here is the Full House versus Three of a Kind. Where is there ever a scenario? That's the only one where I feel like there could be a scenario where you could play the Joker better to get those two pairs rather than adding it to one of the other ones.
Can you say that again, please?
Well, I'm just, how we were examining all the cases. That's the only one which stands out to me. I haven't fully convinced myself of that. It's the Full House versus Three of a Kind.
Oh, when you have a two pair and you're promoting, and you have a two pair and a Joker, and you're promoting into a full house, that's your only option.
Yeah.
But if you have a one pair, then and you have a Joker, you have the option for going to two pair or for going to Three of a Kind. But if you have two Jokers, okay, one pair, two Jokers, you could turn that into, you could use the two Jokers with this card that was remaining. Oh, you don't longer see my hands. If you have a pair and two Jokers, you could use your two Jokers to promote your pair into a Four of a Kind, or you could use your two Jokers to match with the remaining card, which will get you a full house. But it is advantageous to go for a Four of a Kind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And our number is now smaller.
Is it bigger?
No, it's bigger. It's bigger. Our number is now bigger.
Okay.
And besides, Nick is on the chat saying that we got it. So,
okay.
Yeah. But I will print sneaky. I no longer need this, but I will print that it is very sneaky indeed to do that to us. I will grab my number and I will get my star. Yeah!
Hey!
Woohoo! Good job. I'm high-fiving with a black camera now. Hello.
Hi.
Let's go back to this view. What have we learned today? We have learned the rules of poker.
Yeah, I think it is slightly different in poker. I don't know, maybe the order is actually important in poker for like because you can bluff at each round or something.
And I think that I am remembering right that in poker the label of the card that made the Three of a Kind, for instance, the label is important. You just don't look at the order of the hand. Oh, look at that. I came back.
Yeah, you did.
I am slightly out of focus, but on this size you won't even be able to tell. Nothing like turning the camera off and on again. But since I updated macOS to Sonoma, the Canon software is just a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, poker, number 5 of the same, and flush and straight, yep, free to reorder hands in poker. Yeah, the disambiguation seemed a bit off poker-wise. All right, so now that we finished this and we learned that we need to count our blessings, that Advent of Code is sneaky, because the inputs are different for everyone. The inputs are different for everyone, but I'm pretty sure that everyone will have one of those sneakies. We have also learned that if only we had something like a default dict in JavaScript, right? Because then I could have said this.
Well, you could do that on one line still. Go on, do it on one line.
Can I? How do I do that in one line? By doing this?
I would put it on the other side. I would just do equals, counter 0 equals, and then, do it the Lua way. If you see what I mean.
I do not see what you mean. Can you help me out here?
So just do counter 0 equals counter 0 plus joker counts. So as you would do in Lua, and then you can wrap.
Then nullish coalesce here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And we didn't break. Thank you. That is nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Wow, look at that. Us solving Advent of Code in one expression.
Almost. Apart from the array. But the array was beautiful. That point one, yeah, you really...
Well, this array... Oh, I was going to say it's used only in one place, but it isn't. Well, we can always put it back in here somewhere. Because here we have a block. So let's just throw it in there and call it one expression, right? Where is it used? It's used here in the sort. Oh, in the sort, we don't have a block. Okay, it needs to be 2 expressions, people.
Well, you could technically attach it to every object, but that's pretty ugly.
Yes.
I think it's nice as it is.
Yeah, I think this is a nice compromise.
The 0.01 offsetting you did, I remember speaking to this very old developer, and he was telling me how something like he used an editor which was so old that they used to add things in hundreds of lines so that they could insert things.
That's basic.
Without having to Is that basic?
That's basic. Yeah.
Tell me more.
In basic, I was gonna go for the wrong keyboard. Is there a syntax highlighter for basic? No. Visual Basic. I think that will do. In basic, you have to number your lines. So I'm making some of this syntax up. I'm not 100% confident on all this, but you do things like this because if you want to go to, you go to a number. And in fact, if I remember correctly, the order of these lines don't matter. It will first run the line that has the lowest number, so you can reorder a program like that. But the point of this is that if you need to edit your program to insert a new line here, you can do it by doing so. And
that's so funny.
The point of having it this way is that if you need to edit your program, back in the days of like teletype that print out your code in paper, you can always say, please, text editor, which would be something like add, the text editor in Linux, and I suppose macOS comes with add. It does. Where you don't see the full text of your program. You have to say, go to line 10, show me line 10, edit line 10, and so on. But you could edit your program or even add lines by tacking them onto the end. And I think that's the full story of this label stuff. I may be misremembering some things, but I think that's the full story of how this goes.
That's pretty cool. I just had a thought.
Yeah.
Which is, instead of the beautiful triangular pattern in that sorting function, we could have used the index to convert it into a string and then compared those two strings.
Yes. But the problem in doing that in my head was that I don't want to do that. I don't want to do the sorting by this and then having to go into each group and then sort again. I wanted to do the 2 sorts in a row. And I guess you could say that then just put these types as the first letter in your string that you sort lexicographically. And it would be very smart to say that, because that's a genius idea. And you are correct. Yes, you are correct. This is very clumsy, a very clumsy way of doing lexicographical sorting. Your way of turning everything into a string would have been much smarter. Is lexicographical sorting something that comes for free in JavaScript, or would we need low dash or something like that?
Oh no, it does, but it has a weird API. I believe you have to use .locale compare.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it depends on which locale you are in. Okay. But for ASCII, it would be fine.
Yeah. All right then. I'll leave it at that. I love the way that this looks.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's very cool. And now let's peruse other people's solutions. Starting with Nick's. He volunteered his solution. I will be visiting this link. I am visiting this link. You did it in C#. I think you are doing every day in C#, right, Nick? Wrote some tests to make sure everything was up to snuff, which helped me catch a bunch of small little stuff early on. Basic approach. Class to parse and represent the hand. Oh, you're such a gentleman, creating classes and organizing your code. Beautiful.
Writing unit tests.
You are.
I love the idea of chivalry in coding.
There is a gentleness to this approach, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mapping to new hand strength when a joker is introduced, and an eye comparer that does this sorting. Combined with some extensions I wrote in the past, like with indices. Indices? Someone who speaks English as a first language here in the stream, David. Indexes? It's indices, right?
Yeah, it's indices, yeah, but... Yeah.
And I don't know, Nick, if English is your first language or not. I know it's not mine. That's why I have to consult.
But... I don't know. I feel like...
Is it like pixel? Because when I say it in Portuguese, I don't say pixels. I say pixels.
Yeah, no, I think I have a feeling that indexes is also correct. And the indices... Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like I'm not the best reference.
Nick is saying that he also speaks English as a second language, apparently, because he said he's Dutch, so I think that English is his second language as well. But anyway, you may even be right, and I'm just being obnoxious. To get a numerator that returns the index of the element along with the value to easily do the rank calculations. The difference between part 1 and 2 is just the past variable. Use joker. So you have a 5-card hand comparer. And then, well, where is the juicy bit? I want to see that. So your comparer is doing the rank. If they are different, or else. Oh, okay. You're doing a for loop. Fair enough. But in principle, it's a similar idea. Oh, I should just open the rest of the thread. And I will sort. Reddit looks different. What's up with that?
It's amazing how there are like thousands of comments. It's a lot of people doing it.
Nick is saying in the chat, me and my for loops. Yes. David figured out this thing. We may look into that later before we wrap up. The juicy parts were the gist. The gist? Were in the gist. The juicy parts were in the gist. So let's see. No, not this tab, and there. Been there, done that. Don't recommend. Yeah, converting values into numbers, all of that looks familiar. Oh, and you did it in a way that you can say with Joker instead of just changing the code like I did. Oh, that's not your code? What do you mean by that? You get it from the wrong location? Is that not you?
Sorting by best. That was the best.
Okay, here it is. And full code.
And video.
Yeah, Nick is also streaming.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, converting into numbers.
Yeah.
Then counting stuff. Then the test. And where is the Joker situation? That Joker mapping. There is a Joker mapping. This is where you apply the Jokers. If you have one Joker to play with, if you have two Jokers to play with, it's something like that. It was the dictionary at the bottom. Yeah, I'm not sure I follow every detail of this, but yeah, I do appreciate you dividing classes and all of that. Let's look at some other wacky solutions. And I want to view all comments. Reddit looks different today. What's up with that? Sort by new. No, I said best. Pretty sure I said that to you before, Reddit. You should remember. Okay, so someone did it in Python. Wait, what?
Wow.
Wow. Okay, we have a face in A, B, C, D, E, and these are not even the labels.
What? I don't understand this for facing.
Wow. First of all, face is going to be one of these, right? It's a list with two elements, and now face is a string, right?
I think so, but that's not actually how you represent a list. It's probably more a tuple, but again, a tuple normally has parens around it, so it's a bit unconventional. It's a bit code-golfy. But I'm gonna agree with you that face is probably just the first string and then the second string.
And in that case, face is going to be a lovely global variable.
Oh, he does the translation, so he can sort it, I think. No? Yeah.
He's translating and then make trends of, okay, this I recognize. This is the order of our cards.
Yeah.
And what the heck?
He's doing the lexicographical sorting, I think, like I was saying.
But, I see that, but I mean, because they are using a list comprehension, I cannot comprehend that.
Yeah, it's very code-golfy.
Okay, rank times bit, I recognize that. Rank, I recognize that. So in here, they are computing the rank, which they are going to do by sorting. I recognize that. Then eval is going to turn your line into a hand and a bid. Okay. And then it's gonna sort by something, and then it's gonna enumerate, and then it's gonna sum. So really the juicy bit is in here, which is parsing, then doing the translation, which I'm not sure I understand what the make trans is.
Isn't that doing the translation? So it's like it's translating all of those like in order, so that ace is at the top, and then I don't know what T is though. What was T in our thing? Joker, Queen, King, Ace, but then T?
It was just one of the inputs, one of the labels. It didn't really have a meaning there.
I guess a 10, yeah.
Right. 10, yeah.
But yeah, so then it's the hand is translated, and then it leaves the 0 because it's a 0 to 9 is or 2 to 9 is not picked up. They will just get translated normally, and then replace the zeros. I don't know why you'd replace the zeros.
What is R anyway? Oh, it's a list comprehension. I'm not even joking. I was reading this and I was like, what is R? Okay.
Yeah.
Admittedly, this is code golfing, but still.
Yeah. But the type function is also interesting, because that's how he's ranking it, is by just reversing.
Nick is saying Joker becomes 0 for sorting. So you're replacing.
I'm
not sure I get it. R is gonna be each of the cards in the hand, and then you're replacing. Aren't you replacing all of them? And what's up with type here? Isn't that gonna return you like string or number?
No, type is a function defined below.
Oh.
So it's going to return whether it's like, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know how you did that in line. What are they called? 4 of a kind, 5 of a kind, full house. That's what it's going to do.
So 10 becomes A and J becomes B, but second pass it becomes tilde 0 for the two parts. Wow. What? I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna go to the next one. Brilliant idea to use entropy to rank the cards. I came up with a simpler measure.
That's kind of cool.
Can you explain that to me?
Well, if you just sum up after giving them the scores for each thing, you can just sum it up and it seems to just work. Like he's assigning the count value to the each. Like.
I think I get it. So if you do the sorting of the
principle.
Yeah. And then there is translate to replace the face cards with A to E. Wow, no, okay. At least this person is using collections.
Is he using default dict? No. Counter is a nice one though.
And again, this replace R thing. What is up with R? Two different programs using R. It seems like you
really.
always want to replace everything. I don't really get it.
Like, counter is nice, by the way. Collections.counter, that just counts, does exactly what we want it to do. You know, it builds the counts of all the different values.
Yeah, I thought about bringing in Lodash to do that first, but really, perhaps I don't understand what replace does, because to me it seems like you are replacing every character in the string with J. So can you teach me what does replace do in Python?
Is this on a string?
I suppose it is on a string.
Yeah, I think it is. It is doing that, but it's trialing it, right? So
Hang on. Is replace just replace all in JavaScript?
Version of that hand.
I think I see now. Yeah, I think that replace is just
yeah.
replace all in JavaScript. Okay, that makes more sense to me now.
Yeah.
So it's not replacing every character, it's just replacing the occurrences of J with R.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's actually trying to replace the Joker with 2, replace the Joker with 3, replace the Joker with each card, and then find all the possibilities and see which one is better. I would say that our solution is smarter than this.
Yeah,
this one may be shorter,
efficient.
but our solution is smarter.
That's true.
And we came up with a proof with our hands. We proved that our approach works. And besides, it actually worked in practice, which is even better than mathematical proof.
Yeah, and it looks like a triangle. So
yeah, doesn't get better than that. The only real trick here is to realize that the most efficient use of a joker is as the most common non-joker card, if any. Haha, that's what we used. Together with a bit of Python magic, it's a joke, for condensing all the possible cases. This is not so bad.
What's the magic?
I would say this.
What is the star underscore thing? Oh, what it does is it consumes. So counts is, I guess, a tuple or a list of some kind, and it's like a spread operator. So it's like consume everything.
And then the last element is 5, so that they don't have to reverse the list like we did.
Yeah.
Or sort descending like we did.
Yeah. Oh no, they're still sorting it.
No, they are sorting, but they're not sort descending. They are sort ascending. So they have to do this consume everything to the left of, instead of the way that we wrote, where we did it like this.
But we could have equally not sorted it ascending. We could have just picked from the right or whatever.
Yeah, we could have used 4 instead of 0 here, for instance.
Yeah.
Amounts to the same.
But I think it's just like it is quite expressive the way that they have expressed the counts there.
I agree. I like this. And
yeah. It's
how do they treat the 5 jokers in this case?
Plus equals jokers minus 1 to the last one. There you go. Same as us.
Can you give me a line number?
11. Although, how do they handle if they're all jokers? Maybe they don't have jokers in their input.
No, they handle the jokers with this. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if the jokers... And what is this syntax?
The walrus operator, which I think is like the coalescing operator. Oh no, it's like if let in Swift. So if you
you can see our brains melting in real time here.
It doesn't quite make sense to me, but basically he's checking if all the jokers are 5. I don't know why C pop does that. C is the counters, and if you pop star, yeah. So I guess it's just like because pop could return like nothing or something. I actually don't think that the walrus operator is needed there because he's got a default, which is 0. So I don't see why. Surely you could just do C pop equals star equals 5, then use the 0. Otherwise, use the source.
When you say this walrus operator, is it the nullish coalescing operator? Question mark equals in JavaScript?
Yeah, I think it's that. It's like if it's not nullish or if it's not falsy. I mean, quick Google of walrus operator Python.
No, I'll take your word for it. I love your use of match. That's incredibly beautiful. Also, the map on the string index was cool touch. I'm definitely going to steal those to my mental bag of tricks. You know, I really wish the JavaScript had match. Looking forward to that. It is a proposal.
What's that? The match?
It's pattern matching like this. If you think about it, we already have destructive assignment. The next logical step is to do this, but it's not a thing yet in JavaScript. It's a proposal, and I don't think it's going super fast. So it may take a while, or it may even be abandoned. But I really hope that we get this in JavaScript.
I do remember reading or watching something about this. But what did you say we already have? And the next step is?
We have the structuring assignment. We have...
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so you did it with groups in a regex the other day.
True, yes. And I think I did it today, maybe not.
I don't see why it's a logical step.
Oh, because the structuring assignment... Okay, I will put some destructuring assignment here on the screen for folks. So this is, if there is an object here on the right, I can destruct the object and get hold of the fields A and B. And this is for when you know the structure of the object beforehand. But what if there are different possibilities for that object? Then the next step is to be able to say, so if there are fields or attributes A and B in the object, and if there are attributes C and D in the object, and so on. And of course I was using objects here as my example, but we could as easily have used arrays, and then we would be able to do what the person did. So the person did something like this. Or maybe even something like that, I don't know. Like that. And I guess it would make sense in this case because you would want to assign to a variable, but it could definitely make sense in this case because then you would be getting parts of the structure. And the reason why I wanted that is that I work in programming language theory, and it is lovely to have an abstract syntax tree node and be able to do things like this. This is really cool to do, but we can't. So we have to do
yeah, well,
oh, my camera died again. And then compute with it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Although, yeah, that would be nice, you're right. I'm not a huge fan of switch case in general.
Yes, the way that the switch cases, the cases in the switch, they fall into the next one, and you have to say break everywhere. And if you declare a variable with the same name on two cases, you have to put... I'm back. You have to put curly braces around the cases. All of that is janky, but the principle of being able to do pattern matching is lovely, and I miss that from my days of using ML and things like that. So I wish they would approve that proposal, but it's probably not gonna happen anytime soon. Oh, and Nick is going to sleep, so bye. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, Nick.
And have a good night and enjoy Puzzle Day 8. Because Nick is doing it earlier than us. Yeah, and he's saying that pattern matching is nice, but he doesn't use that in C sharp. I missed Joker hand for second part, and that slowed me down below global leaderboard. Yeah. So Python. Can we get a Vim solution?
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. I appreciate you, Smilers. Part 1 starts with 7 lines to classify hands, prepending a number from 7 to 1 based on their strength, such as this, which prepends 5 on each line with a full house. And that's pretty much what we did, replacing with numbers, but let's see how they detect a full house. Full house is 3 and 2, so clearly what's happening here is that, as we can all see, it's replacing with a 5. And then, of course, this part, there are some back references. And the back references refer to these capture groups. And we don't need to talk about this part. But really the string starts here, right? That's the part that we really care about. So we have any number of \w is a character, any word character, so A to Z, capital A to capital Z, 0 to 9, and I think it even includes like underscores and some other jank. So any number of characters, skip those, capture one of them. Any number of characters, skip them, and get another one similar to this. Any number of characters, skip those, and get another one of those. So, in essence, this is saying, it doesn't really matter in where the characters appear on the string, but I want 3 of them, and I want 3 of the same. And go back to the beginning of the string, jump some characters around, and find this, and whatever that is. Okay, no, I don't really understand this part. But then there is another guy here and a back reference to it. So this would get 2 characters in a row. So there is a bit of jank in the middle that I don't get, but the principle is similar to the back references that we use to determine if a number is prime. It's just that in this case, it's kind of simpler. You're just spelling out the number of repetitions instead of using plus. So that's not terribly complicated. I kind of got that.
No.
But
Good for you.
But no, wait a second. Did you understand what I understood?
Not really. Not really.
Okay, I can explain that part. So we have our hand, which is like, let's say 1, 2, 3, 2. No, a full house. A full house is gonna be like 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, but let's make it interesting by interspersing the 2s. How about that? This is a full house.
Okay.
We're gonna get this full house. We're gonna detect it by saying, get a character. Now, I want you to remember the character that you got. Now, you may skip any characters if you need, or not skip them, doesn't matter. But I want you to be able to find another one of those characters that you found in the beginning and captured. And then you may skip any of them, but you need to find me another one of those that you found. So with this, we are getting our 3, capturing it, skipping the 2, that's this part, getting another 3, skipping the other 2, that's this part, and getting another 3. Now, at this point you have consumed the whole string, so you may want to put this in a forward reference. No, is that what it's called? The thing you used in the first day of Advent of Code, or the first day
like an OR. If you type it in, it might tell you just below, like it will.
No, I was thinking of like regular expression back reference of back references will probably for back reference will have probably some stuff about
look ahead.
Look ahead, yes, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. So you probably want to put this whole thing in a look ahead so that you can not consume the string, but then repeat the trick for the number 2. And in the actual code there, they are also putting some of these and anchoring to the beginning and anchoring it to the end. No, not even anchoring it to the end. But anyway, they are doing something like this. They are doing back references. And I am claiming that you can probably use the word that you said that I already forgot to not consume the string and be able to do that to the number 2 as well. What is the word again?
Look ahead.
Thank you. You can use a look ahead to not consume the string.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that is the general idea of what's going on here.
That makes sense.
And then these are just search and replace. And they are trying probably to do the exhaustive search and replace, where you replace the J with every possible card.
It's really a different way of solving these problems, isn't it, altogether?
Yeah. Let's get out of here. Let's wrap this up.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So let's leave your solution that uses, I guess, for loops and takes half an hour to solve the simple for loops that Nick keeps telling us about. We can leave the dissecting that to another day. But tomorrow night, I won't be available. So,
okay.
Do you want to do 2 problems on Saturday?
Yes. Although I'm not sure I'll be able to resist doing it tomorrow anyway.
Oh no! But yeah, tomorrow I will be teaching and it's the last day, so people will be presenting their projects and then there is a dinner. So I will not be able to come here at 10. I'll probably be out having dinner with the students after the final presentation, so I don't want to commit to that. But then on Saturday, I will be available. And when would be the best time for you on Saturday?
Probably in the morning. Around 10 a.m.
10 a.m. on Saturday. Okay, I think that should be doable. Yes, I think that should be doable. So.
Okay, cool. Well, it might make sense for one of us to do one of the problems tomorrow anyway, so that it doesn't end up being a 4-hour session. Because it could be that one of them is really tricky, and one of them is like, or if they're both really tricky, then it could take 4 hours.
Well, I would like to perhaps try and do them together, and if they are relatively straightforward, we don't spend so much time dwelling on other people's solutions and trying to make things look neat, and just like go to the next one and catch up. Or even if the problem is super tricky and it takes us 2 hours, we could just wrap it up and then fall one day behind until we get a day that is relatively easy, and then we can do 2 in a row. I know. It's not ideal because then we would be missing the train, but maybe we can even do like 2 sessions a day or something like that to catch up. But I would prefer to do it together if we can. But anyway,
All right.
let's pencil
Sounds
in Saturday at 10. And yeah, that's all.
All right. Well, have a nice day off in that case. And
Thank you.
I'll see you on Saturday.
I'll see you on Saturday morning. And thank you to Nick and Nod Was One and Bo and everyone else who is watching this in the future. We appreciate having you here. I see you Saturday morning. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Can I ask one thing?
Yeah.
What is this? It detects thumbs up. I don't know. Is that? What is that?
On that's macOS Sonoma. On the menu bar, you will see a little camera that turned green. And in there, you can enable and disable reactions. That's what it's called.
Ah, okay. I thought that was a Skype thing. Or
no, you can also do this. It's a macOS thing. You can do the heart.
Ah, that's amazing.
I had this on and I didn't understand what it was. It was funny. All right.
All right.
See you Saturday morning. Have a good one.
See you then. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching the stream. You know how great it has been. Or maybe it sucked, and I am glad that you stuck with me. And soon we'll all be back together for some more coding or talking or chilling. The next time I'll be streaming.